Yes, over to you, Mahua ma'am. Mahua ma'am, your mic is muted.
Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Deva Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. This webinar is unique as all the eminent teachers or the gurus have contributed such insightful knowledge for the past 3 days, including today, that each one of us have enriched ourselves with the correct usage of English language in different cultural contexts. Today, we are back to the fourth day of the webinar on Global Educators Conference. I, Mahua Chakraborty from India, extend a hearty welcome to all the distinguished guests and the wonderful audience, especially Mrs. Rachna Chakraborty, Madam, the founder and mentor of CWMA, Creative Writing Modern Age. I am truly blessed and fortunate to address about such a great personality like Rachna Chakraborty, Madam. It is always believed that when you feel the need from your heart, passion develops. And that is how Madam had started with CWMA. Some years ago, when she was pensive, it was then that she thought that she should start writing to express, and hence ended up making this group on Facebook. In the course of time, she discovered that there were many ailing souls like her, and slowly she developed a huge group where now we share our feelings through the writings. This gave her solace, and she started motivating writers to write and also read out their own composed poems. This group, Creative Writing Modern Age, intends to give all the authors a non judgmental space to vent out their feelings and enhance positive vibes. The literary contexts are only for motivating writers to express themselves with the spoken words. Creative Writing Modern Age, CWMA, is an initiative started by Professor Rachna Chakraborty to encourage and guide young poets and writers, to build a platform for them where they can share their dynamic thoughts and improve under the guidance of some experienced writers. Working in this direction, CWMA has conducted various events such as literary contest, essay writing competition, etc., for writers to share their best write-ups, and served with an opportunity to get published out yearly book, The Chosen Ones. We also felicitate the most admired writer each month who stand a chance to become part of our yearly book. Poets across the globe, an international meet with poets from different countries sharing their views on poetry. The different elements and its need in today's time, from writing from writing poems to reciting in front of an audience. We organized Cosmopoetica, a unique poetry slam for budding and experienced poets. We had International Storytelling Fest, a 4-day event for storytellers to come and express their ideas, intact their stories, and honestly, experience was mesmerizing. We are truly grateful to our audience who act as a backbone, providing an enormous support to all our endeavor. CWMA has now started their own poetry club and storytellers club where we are trying to present as many writers to the world. We dream to garner global attention on the importance of literature. Global Educators Conference has been created by Dr. Rachna Chakraborty, and her motive is to make English language a pivot for among all the other languages. Today, we are going to discuss on the importance of grammar. So let us all sit and try to take away the insightful knowledge as we have done the last 3 days. And over to you, Rachna Chakraborty, madam.
Yes. So as we always start, thank you, Mahua ma'am, for that wonderful introduction about creative writing modern age and what we have been doing in this platform, interacting with poets across the globe, with storytellers across the globe, and now a new venture with educators across the globe. So this was really a learning process for all of us, whoever was here, and it was a really an insightful journey. So thanks to all of you for making it so enriching, and it was I just can relish all these moments and take a lot of takeaways from this last 3 days. So before we start today, the last day, and today we also have a small felicitation for all the speakers and the moderators too, who had contributed their best in their submitting the papers in all the approach of different perspectives and how English language dominates and how without that language we cannot master any other subjects. So that small felicitation will be followed soon after the speakers give their speeches. So first of all, as we always start with the lamp lightning, we have the lamp inside us, the light, the rays of knowledge, which always empowers us with enlightening. So just a small ritual which we always do. So with that, we will just go ahead with the lamp lightning. I'll be sharing my screen for that. So we believe that the lamp has already enlightened us and we are ready, all set for today's venture with all our erudite and speakers there on the platform with their electrifying speeches. And over to you, Mahua ma'am.
Thank you, Rachna ma'am. The ambience becomes even more melodious with that such a wonderful music of the with the lamp lighting that it really recharges us, motivates us with positivity. So I would now request a great speaker. We've heard him many times. And the famous Dr. Joel M. Fontanilla. Sir,
Mahua ma'am, just before that, we would like to give a small visual presentation about all the speakers. So in short, very small. I don't want to take the speaker's time. So can I do that, ma'am?
yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Definitely, ma'am.
Thank you. Just a small token of love from our side, welcoming all the speakers and moderators. Yes, over to you, Mahua ma'am. Now, without ado, we'll start with our today's speakers.
Thank you so much, Rachna ma'am. And that was very vibrant. So I think that really motivates each one of us. And I would like to invite Dr. Joel M. Fontanilla from Philippines. He is a doctor of education, major in educational management. Currently, he is the language teacher in Benigni Aldana National High School in Philippines. Sir, the virtual stage is all yours. A hearty welcome to you, sir. Is Dr. Joel here, ma'am?
There's some network issues probably.
Yes. Well,
Okay.
yep, we have technical glitch. Hello,
Yes,
everyone. Can you hear me?
yes, we can hear you, sir.
All right. All right. So, good evening, good afternoon, and good morning, everyone. It is an ecstatic moment to be part of this magnanimous event about native influence on English language for today's Global Educators Conference. This event will be truly remarkable piece of amalgamation, a combination of an excellent and amazing collaboration that helps education in a form of advancement. I am a Filipino language teacher for 10 years, and it has something to do with Filipino language and grammar or phonetics, and of course, literature and sort of language history. Again, I am Dr. Joel Fontanilla, a Filipino language teacher, and be ready to explore English language in different perspective. Okay. The question is, how important is today to speak English language fluently, or at least understand it? It may be one of the most important thing when you want to apply for a job. In other words, speaking English is no longer considered as something special. It is a requirement. Nowadays, the English language has definitely become a global lingua franca. Speaking English makes it possible to communicate with people all over the world and from many different cultures. As a result, English has come to have a large influence on a multitude of other languages. especially in Europe, where many words had been adopted outright. English has been regarded as the first global lingua franca. It has become part and parcel of almost every existing field. We use it as the international language to communicate and in many fields ranging from business to entertainment. The English language opens an ocean of career opportunities to those who speak this language anywhere in the world. Similarly, it has turned into an inevitable requirement for various fields and professions like medicine, computing, and more. With a fast evolving world, it is essential to have common language which can we understand to make the best use of the data information available. As a result, the English language has become a storehouse of various knowledge ranging from the social to political fields. The Philippines is a multilingual state with more than 175 languages originating and spoken by various ethno-linguistic groups. Many of these languages descend from common Malayo-Polynesian language due to the Austronesian migration from Taiwan. However, there are languages brought by the Negritos. The common Malayo-Polynesian language is split into different languages, and these languages borrowed words from other languages such as Hokkien, Sanskrit, Tamil, or Arabic. There was no single common language across every cultural group in the the Philippine archipelago. When the Spanish arrived in the 16th century, although chroniclers of the time noted that the kings of chiefs of small polities normally spoke 5 languages. English is an international language used in every schools and university in South Africa or South America and Europe. Countries like the Philippines and India studies English at an early age during their kindergarten years. Around 80 countries accept English an official language. Those countries are the United States of America, Australia, United Kingdom, the South Africa, and others. English in the Philippines occurred in the year 1762 when the Americans in the Philippines occupied from 1898 to 1946. Thus, this is why English is an official language in the country. The Philippines is made up of around 70 million people, while in 1901, around 504 US teachers came to the country. This is so-called the language of education and from local words. They merge vocabulary and modified grammar and pronunciation, resulting to creative newspaper and magazine in the country. English was implemented starting 1901 when the US occupied and colonized the Philippines. In 1935, English was added as an official language. It developed including its accent, vocabulary, and even the way of writing. The beginning of the English language was around 1898, which is a data, to 1920, including our national hero, Jose P. Rizal. National hero of the Philippines, learned English on his own and also encouraged his sister to learn too. The way of learning was directly followed by the proper grammar, like the ones used in American school. Filipino themselves taught English to one another. Between 1920 to 1941, around 209 Filipino scholars were sent to get the college degree in various fields like medicine, law, and animal sciences. Having English proficiency is a powerful, which is considered a primary medium for communication in this 20th century. It plays various roles in all aspects, in all demographic regions. This is a skill acquired to increase one's professional growth market, and career advancement. The usefulness of English language in such setting have been intensified by globalization in its various manifestations. As a comprehensive understanding of this phenomena is not likely to yield straightforward prescriptions. Filipino educators will have to be exceptionally creative in finding ways to ensure that English becomes a positive resource in the education of Filipinos. On the other hand, teachers are to be given the chance to enhance their knowledge and literacy in English in order to contribute to much deserved change in the Filipino educational system. Now let's have the influence of English language to the other languages. English borrowed words that are used in other languages are called Anglicism. An Anglicism is a word or phrase or idiom characteristics or peculiar to the English language. Most Anglicisms were adopted in the fields of IT or other areas where new technology is developed due to the rapidness with which technology changes. Some countries tend to just adopt the English words for new technology and develop into their native language rather than coining a new native term. The names for some new inventions and developments are often very hard to translate, and therefore it is convenient to simply keep the original English name, such as, for example, cloud computing. There are also many Anglicisms which have infiltrated the German language, such as computer, scanner, adapter, aftershave, airline, or alien, only in the sense of extraterrestrial, baby bank, hacker, or jackpot. The list is endless. Some of these terms have no German equivalent. So like scanner or adapter. That's because when these things became available in Germany, their English names were simply borrowed into German. But many of these terms have an actual German equivalent which has been around for years. It is not easy to explain why Germans love to use new English terms in place of German words, especially when they have a different meaning than in English. For example, the German word for projector is a beamer. A native English speaker would probably think this refers to the BMW car. German cell phones are called handys, and the USB flash drive is a USB stick. English originated words have become extremely prevalent in Germany. This is understandable for words which do not exist in German. But why do they use English for words which already have been a German equivalent? Maybe it's an attempt to sound younger and smarter. And perhaps there is a belief that using English makes a company sound modern. But there is a point when the coining of English terms become absurd. English has invaded German and other countries and other languages. To the people have named these blended languages. A mix of German and English is called Dinglish. A mix with French is Franglish. And a mix with Spanish is Spanglish. The only two terms which could be considered actual business terminology are cash flow and corporate identity. All the other English terms have a German equivalent. Although English has had a large influence on many languages, it has also been greatly influenced by other languages. It is estimated that over 80% of English vocabulary has been borrowed from other languages. Many of these borrowed words have become a common that we don't even notice them as a foreign anymore. The question is how important it is to preserve your own language. Languages have never been static and have always been changing. depending on the country or languages were influenced by Latin or French. And today, we use foreign words without feeling that we are destroying our native languages. Excuse me. Instead, these words have simply been adopted into our own language. In the end, it is our hands which word we use from other languages and which one we continue to use in our native languages. About grammar, modern English has largely abandoned the inflectional case system of Indo-European in favor of analytic construction. The personal pronouns retain morphological case more strongly than any other word class, or a remnant of more than extensive Germanic case system of Old English. For other pronouns and all nouns, adjectives, and articles, grammatical function is indicated only by word order, by prepositions, and by the sanction genitive or English possessive. 8 word classes or parts of speech are commonly distinguished in English. We have the nouns, determiners, pronouns. We have also the verbs, adjectives, adverbs, the prepositions, and conjunctions. Nouns form the largest word class, and verbs the second largest. Unlike nouns, in almost all other Indo-European languages, English nouns do not have grammatical gender. Linguists generally accept 9 English word classes. These are the nouns, the verbs, adjectives, the adverbs, the pronouns, the prepositions, conjunctions, determiners, and the last is exclamations. English words are not generally marked for word class. It is not usually possible to tell from the form of the word which class it belongs to, except to some extent. In the case of words with inflectional endings or derivational suffixes, on the other hand, most words belong to the more than one word class. For example, run, as spelled as R-U-N, can serve as either a verb or a noun. These are regarded as 2 different lexemes. Lexemes may be inflected to express the different grammatical categories. The lexemes run or RUN has the forms of runs, ran, runny, runner, and running. Words in one class can sometimes be derived from those in another. This has the potentials to give rise to new words. The noun aerobics has recently given rise to the adjective aerobicized. Words combine to form phrases. A phrase typically serves the same function as a word from some particular word class. For example, my very good friend Peter is a phrase that can be used in sentences or sentence as if it were a noun, and it is therefore called a noun phrase. Similarly, adjectival phrases and adverbial phrases function as they were adjectives or adverbs. But with other types of phrases, the terminology has different implications. For example, a verb phrase consists of a verb together with any objects and other dependents. A prepositional phrase consists of preposition and its complement, and it is therefore usually a type of adverbial phrase. A determiner phrase is a type of noun phrase containing a determiner. You know, teaching English grammar helps students to acquire skills in listening, also in speaking, reading, and or writing. Without the knowledge of grammar, students cannot speak or write English correctly. Now, I just going to set an example. Last year, I've been to one of the countries in Asia, and I have noticed that if you do not have formal education on how to speak English in the correct grammar, you have a hard time to communicate about to the visitors coming from in your country. For example, I used a sentence, for example, I will go to the market. If I'm going to use that in a sentence, they cannot even understand what I'm talking about because they don't have, you don't know how to comprehend using the correct grammar. But when I told them, go market, and then they understand. That works for informal. Without the knowledge of grammar, students cannot speak or write English correctly. Grammar plays a vital role in teaching and learning any language. The government realized the importance of grammar as a key part of language education. Grammar has become an important part of school English curriculum from primary to higher education. Grammar is the base of English language, and it is fundamental part of teaching, and the school English curriculum divides English into four key skills such as speaking and listening, writing, reading, and literature and language from pre-primary to class 12 to help students learn in a proper way. Therefore, this essay will discuss, or this fact will discuss things about the importance of grammar in the formal way in the classroom setting that will help students to gain the listening, the speaking, and reading and writing skills. The study of language is part of the general knowledge. We study the complex working of the human body to understand ourselves. The same reason should attract us to studying the marvelous complexity of human language. If you understand the nature of language, you will realize the ground for your linguistic prejudices and perhaps moderate them. You will also more clearly assess linguistic issues of public concern, such as worries about the state of language or what to do about the teaching of the immigrants. Studying the English language has more obvious practical application. It can help you to use the language more effectively. What are the importance of English language? First, as the importance of English language is clear, we move on to why we must learn English language. First of all, it is a global language. It is a common that 1 out of the 5 people can speak or understand or comprehend this language. Further, learning English language can help in getting a job easily in this time. As it has become the language of many fields, it is automatically increases the chances of landing a good job in a good company. In addition, it helps with meeting new people, especially we are now using an advancement in technology, communicating people in different countries. It's very easy using these gadgets. As it is the official language of 53 countries, learning it helps to break the language barriers. Most importantly, it is also the language of the internet. Another important reason is to learn this language is to it makes traveling easier. Being a widely used language globally, it will help us connect with people easily. Similarly, it is also essential in the world of business. It does not matter whether you are an employee or you are an employer. It benefits everyone. Students who wish to study abroad must definitely study this language. Many countries use their schools and universities. So, it can offer a good opportunity for the learners, for the students, for the new normal of education. We use the English language for most international communication. While it is not most spoken language in the world, 53 countries have named it as their official language. Moreover, about 400 billion people globally use it as their first language. Thus, being the most common second language in the world, it will be beneficial to learn this language to open doors to new opportunities. That's all. Thank you so much, and God bless us all.
Thank you so much, Dr. Noel. It it is it's such we enriched ourselves and such great takeaways from whatever you spoke today. And you so correctly said, sir, English language is so important across the globe, especially when people are facing interviews for career opportunities. English language definitely helps so many other it's a blend of with so many other languages like Sanskrit, and it is giving it is giving us an opportunity to take English as a global language, getting job easily, meeting new people to connect to them, and it is definitely the language of the internet. Students who go abroad, English helps them to open different opportunities. Such great takeaways, sir, and especially when you spoke about grammar, which is a system and structure of the language. The rules of grammar helps us to decide the order in which we put the words and which form of word to use in order to construct a logical sentence in English. So English words definitely combine to form phrases. And the greatest takeaway today, sir, I believe, when you advise students that English can improve by listening, speaking, reading, and writing skills. So I think all the teachers and all educators will definitely follow this and improve on the standards of English language. Thank you so much once again, Dr. Joel. Rachna ma'am, I feel I can invite the next speaker of the day.
Yes, yes. You can invite.
Okay. So yet again, we have a great, eminent educator and speaker, Debby Enoe madam from London. She stays in United Kingdom, and she has been an educator for over 25 years. She is a transformation and mindset coach to reclaim educators for their and acts as an inspirational speaker to discuss mental health of the educators, providing suggestions for the well-being of the students. Devi ma'am, the virtual platform is all yours.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for the introduction, and thank you very much, Dr. Joel. My stand would be slightly different because I am an educator. My background is psychologist. I'm also a psychologist. So my take would be connecting to the individual to empower them. Yes, I do understand and I do support the power of English, because as we know, in terms of English language have been used as a way to colonize and to empower. However, I also see that it is very powerful in enabling individuals, especially our students, to know that in the global market we are living in, it is very important that they also speak English to enable them to navigate the opportunity within the global market. And in order to navigate that and to seize the opportunity, they need to be speaking English at a very high level. I totally support that. However, I also feel that it is so very important that we empower them with their own language, i.e. the fact that native influence on English is very, very important, especially when you're teaching in terms of cultural diversity, because it also enables the individual to have a sense of themselves and it empowers them to go forward. As much as I support and believe that English language should always be used as far as possible, and the importance of grammar in order to understand where you're going and in order to navigate the English language and English-speaking countries, it is also important that we support and encourage the influence of the individual native speaking language upon English. For example, in a lot of the schools in the UK, you have, it's very culturally diverse. And in order to empower the children, we need to, as far as possible, to enable them to continue with their native language while still embracing the English language of the country they're in, which is in the UK. So as a result of that, that child would have support in English in the subjects that they're doing. As much as that, in order for an individual to be empowered and feel a sense of self-worth, it is so very important that we'll still tap into their own language. For example, I was born and brought up in the Caribbean. And as much as I've been here most of my life, it is very important that I still tap into what I know as my broken English or my patois, because it gives me a sense of identity. And in order for us to progress, we really do need a sense of identity. As a people, you need to know where you're coming from. As much as it is important that we take on the English language, it is also important that alongside that, we remind the individual of where they're coming from and give them a sense of identity, because there's no point in their fully embracing the English language without really knowing who they are. Because in order for them to move forward, they need to know who they are. And this is something I'm finding a lot in the schools. When the young people when they are lost and they don't know who they are, we then end up with having a lot of children who are confused and mental health issues step in because they don't know where they are and they don't know who they are. So yes, it is important that we remind them of the opportunity the English language would afford them. But at the same time, we also have to remind them of where they're coming from so that they do not completely ignore their culture, inheritance, and the parents' identity, so that they know what's happening. For example, as I said earlier on, for the fact that I was brought up in the Caribbean, as much as I speak English very well, as much as there's sometimes I teach English, etc., I think that it is so important that I still tap into aspect of my culture. I still tap into the broken English and broken French, which combine, which are influenced upon, the English that we speak in the Caribbean, in Grenada, because we speak broken French and broken English combine their patois. So therefore, a lot of the elders would still speak that. And I think it's very important that we actually encourage the young people to get involved in that, because it gives them a sense of identity. So therefore, from time to time, even in my classroom, I might use a word which is very much Caribbean twang, and then I catch myself and realize, oops, and the student might say, Miss, what did you say? And I quickly have to, think, okay, yes, well, that is very much Caribbean. For example, if I said to the student, can you guys, go over there, right? In the Caribbean, it's very much go over there. But in English, you say, can you move to XYZ place? So you tell them exactly where you want them to move to. But in the Caribbean, we would say, down the road or over there and things like that. So therefore, that aspect of my Caribbean still coming in. So therefore, I'm very conscious when I'm teaching as to, I need to be very much aware of that. In the same way, when we are speaking to the children, it is so very important. If English is a second language, we encourage them as far as possible, to not lose their cultural identity, because it's very important. Because you might find that when they go home, their parents might still be speaking in their native language. So therefore they have that, they are bilingual because they actually speak that. And it is important, I feel, for us to connect with the young people, because I teach young people, that we are able to connect with them on that basis instead of purely on the basis of English. Because if we do that, we are encouraging them to lose their identity. And for me, the ability to maintain your identity is very, very important. Yes, I also know that in order to navigate the global market, you have to be able to speak English very well. And that is something I feel we should be encouraging as much as possible, whilst not letting them lose their true identity. Because you then have children who have become very confused and mixed because they don't know what they're supposed to be doing. So what I say to my students a lot of the time is, it is very rich that you are able to speak more than one language or you have more than one dialect, because you are able to speak English on one hand very well, and you are able to also speak your mother tongue, which is also very important. And that is so very important that we encourage it and empower in it. In order for, as I said before, in order for children to be empowered, they need to have a sense of belonging. They need to not lose that, because my concern as a psychologist and an educator is to ensure that my students do not lose the sense of identity, because if they do that, then we have mental health issue because they do not know which one to turn to. So it is very important we do not give them an either or. We need to give them a combination, because when we give an either or, we are forcing them to choose English to oppose to their native language. So therefore, if we are saying to them that you now have a very rich language and a very rich culture because you are now able to combine both of them, that is, for me, is very important than having them just to choose just one or prescribing one more than the other, because we need to demonstrate the richness in all of them. Okay. So as much as I prescribe and support the power of grammar, which I know is extremely important, I also promote the individual's own language, because I do feel that they need to see how important it can be, and it is, even in this global markets. Because we also need to make them realize that the more they're able to combine more than one more than one language, the more marketable they become. And that is also very important for me. So in my closing, what I would always prescribe a combination of, while still encouraging them the power of the English language and the power of grammar, still saying that also do not lose your culture identity and do not lose your mother tongue, because that too is very important.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Debbie ma'am. You spoke so wonderfully, and your information on English, along with, as a psychologist, we really enriched ourselves. And your major takeaways was to connect individuals, to connect to people as a psychologist, and to empower children with the native language. And that is so very important for the well-being of the students, to develop their sense of identity by blending other languages along with English, so that the students can navigate the global map. And it is very important to learn more languages, especially the mother tongue, in order to avoid mental health issues. So that was just great takeaways, ma'am. Thank you so much. And we hope to gain information more from you in future, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
And next, our next speaker is a great educationist, Madam Ina Hrytsenko from Ukraine, and she has been teaching for last 11 years, and the virtual platform is all yours, Ina ma'am.
Hello, everybody. It's a great experience to join you and to take part in such a great conference. It's a great honor for me. Really, I am from Ukraine. This country is situated in the center of Europe. English is also very popular in our country, and many students, many pupils learn it, and many companies work with this language. So first of all, I want to speak about the importance of the English language, not only in our country, but all over the world. And after that, I will move to the grammar and I want to combine English grammar and Ukrainian grammar. So first of all, I want to share the screen. Can I do it?
Yes, ma'am. You can.
So do you see it?
Yes, perfect.
Because I think that with the help of the presentation, with the help of the screen, it will be more better for you to understand and to accept the information. So let's start. In the 21st century, the entire world has become narrow, accessible, shareable, and familiar for all the people living in this earth. As English is used as a common language, even though there are some variations in habits, cultural traditions, English has been accepted as a global language among the speakers of thousands of different languages. Since science and technology is progressing, there are tremendous changes taking place in the lives of the human beings everywhere in the world. As a result, the whole world has become a global village, and the people have maintained good relationships with each other. Moreover, business, trade, and commerce have become international, and most of the business organizations have their offices in most of the countries. In order to maintain international relationship in science, technology, business, education, travel, tourism, and so on, English serves the purpose as a common language and a global language. It is a language mostly used not only by the scientists, business organizations, and the internet, but also in higher education and tourism sectors. English is a language that is almost used between an agent and the international company. English being the first world language, it is said to be the first global lingua franca, and it is the most widely used language in the world in international trade, diplomacy, mass entertainment, international communication, and scientific publication, as well as publishing newspapers and other books. As for Ukraine, English is also very popular. And to tell you the truth, I understood it not only once, that to speak English, to communicate in English in different countries, it is very comfortable, first of all, because when you travel abroad, it is very useful to know English, to communicate English, because every doors of every country is open for you. You can ask, you can answer, you can get information, and you really feel very comfortable. So as for our grammar, I want to compare English grammar and Ukrainian grammar. As for affixation, sound interchange, stress, superlativity, reduplication, and intonation. First of all, I want to speak about affixation. You see that I would like to speak about affixation. I want to mention once more time, reduplication, sound interchange, intonation, stress, and superlativity. So what does it mean? An affixation is a basic means of grammar, a grammatical expression for the majority of the languages of the world, and also both for Ukrainian and English. Affixes are used for the word forming and express word being meaning. Endings, suffixes, and prefixes are used in Ukrainian to express grammatical meaning of the adjectives. So as for English words, we see so little words with ending, but in Ukrainian languages, there are many endings, and they help to understand the grammatical meaning of the adjectives. For example, the Ukrainian word is червоний, the ending is a. The grammatical meaning of the word can be expressed by zero affix, for example, by the zero ending in the word house, garden, forest, sun, man. In the mentioned examples, the zero flexion expresses the meanings of the nominative case, singular, masculine nouns. For example, zero expresses the three grammatical meanings simultaneously. Grammatical meanings can also be expressed by means of sound interchange in the root of the word, which are sometimes called the inflection. In Ukrainian, there are a lot of historical and traditional interchanges. The role of sound interchange is more essential in the English language. For example, in English, sound interchange can be observed in the category of noun. Consonant interchange of we change F into V, S into Z, Z. When we speak about the plural form, a calf, calves, a leaf, leaves, a house, houses. Vowel interchange helps to distinguish singular and plural of nouns. A man, men, a foot, feet, a mouse, mice, a crisis, crisis. In the category of tense of the verbs, we can observe the vowel interchange. It's connected with the tense forms of irregular verbs. When we speak about the word sing, past simple sang, and past participle sung. Write, past simple wrote, and past participle written. Vowel interchange can also help to distinguish between different parts of speech. Because there are many words that are very similar, they sound very similar, but the meaning and the part of speech are rather different. For example, the word is bath and base. Bath, it means a noun. For example, the sentence, my bath is white, but base, it means the verb. I like to bathe in the river. And sometimes when we start learning English for pupils and for students, it is really hard to understand the meaning of two words because they sound very similar. For example, the adjectives as hot and heat. Hot, adjective, the weather is hot, and heat is the noun. The heat is terrible, for example, today. Verbs and adjectives. Moderate and moderate, nouns and nouns, shade and shadow, nouns and adjectives, type and typical. Consonants can interchange in different parts of speech. In nouns and verbs, extend, extend, mouth and mouth, relief and relieves. Another of grammatical expression is stress. Stress really plays a great importance in Ukrainian in the discrimination of case and number in some nouns. City, cities. In different languages, the grammatical means of stress plays different roles. It depends on the type of stress in a language. Sometimes to express the grammatical meaning, it is necessary to use one morphological phenomena of word building nature. For example, superlativity. At the lexical level, it helps to express sex distinguish. For example, a boy, a girl, a man, a woman, a bull, a cow, a hen, a cock. Superlativity can express different categorical meanings at the lexical level as in the part of verbs. Carry, bring, say, and tell. And next part, I would like to speak about reduplication. What does it mean? Reduplication is a complete or partial repetition of a root or a stem or the whole word which is connected with a grammatical expression. For example, the word so-so, 50-50, chance by chance, day by day. They color the language and they make it more interesting. Intonation, it will be the last part of our distinguishing. Intonation can also serve the means of grammatical expression. In Ukrainian, intonation can also be one of the ways of grammatical expression in a word. For example, the verb in the form of the infinitive when used in the imperative mood and pronounced with the intonation expressing to order. For example, the word get up, sit down, close, keep silent. Due to intonation, we differentiate statements, interrogative and imperative sentences. In English, intonation is very important. It organizes a sentence. So, grammatical meanings can be expressed either inside the word, which is affixation, sound interchange, stress, superlativity, reduplication, and intonation. So I have mentioned all important issues which are used in Ukrainian and also in the English languages. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you so much, Ina ma'am. You cited such good examples and tried to make English language much easier. And the great takeaways today was, since the influence of English language is across the globe, it has become global with business, and it has taken an English has been taken in an international level. Therefore, English language has become an agent with the international company. So thank you so much, ma'am, for all the examples. And it has really made us, I was actually busy jotting down those points. So such good examples you've given. And we hope to hear from you again and again, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you for invitation.
Our next speaker is none other than Shaluja Mulay, madam. Madam, I have become your fan the day you became the moderator, and so much of positivity, so much of expression. It is always said that the English teacher has to be the most vibrant because of the expression you give in the class itself gives the lesson to the students. And I have found you like that, madam. So, and definitely with your 45 years of pathfinding and exploration of capability building for students and teacher as a mentor, it is also great that you have been teaching children with hearing loss. You have received the Best Teacher Award again and again from the government of Maharashtra, the Best Teacher Award from Lions Club of Moral, Mumbai, the Best Teacher Award from Jamatul Muslimin, Mumbai. Madam, you are a true inspiration for all the educators. The virtual platform is all yours, Shaluja, madam.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to all of you, and welcome to the Fine Dine English seminar. I won't call it a conference now because we are coming to the fag end of it. So I'll call it a seminar. 4 days have flown and we are in the last part now. And what do I want to share with you? Because phonetics is over, syntax is over, semantics we spoke of, grammar also, Debby ma'am, Dr. Joel, Ina ma'am covered it all. So then I was wondering what next to do. I had to change the whole thing because everything got covered. Now what do I do? So now I'm going to take you to a complete roller coaster ride. Fortunately for me, I have been very, very lucky that I have taught from KG to PG. So all the classes I've been through. And native influence of English, when you talk of, what is the native influence? 1, mother tongue, source language. 2, medium of instruction in school. 3, language. And the 4th language and the 4th influence that we have on us is in India, we have males who look after our children. And when the males look after our children, they give a new language to everything. So the parents give one language, the maid gives one language, the teacher gives one language, and my poor souls are lost whether to speak Marlish, Marathi English combination, English, Hindi English combination, Panjalish, Punjabi English combination, Malayalish. What language do I speak? My children are lost, so they are the best. What do? They look at you and they talk to the eyes. They listen to the ears. They look at the lips and find out, not because whether I'm wearing a lipstick or not wearing a lipstick, it is not their concern. They want to know how it moves. Because this influence is maximum. And Macaulay had already predicted at that time that 75% native influence will remain on any English anywhere in the world. And in a country like India, we have 22 official languages, 122 major languages in India, and 1,599 recorded languages and dialects. Our children come from all over, and we have got children into various sectors. We've got a combination of various boards, state board, CBSE board, ICSE, international, Jawahar Navamanovar Vidyalaya. We have a combination. We are a unity in diversity. And when we have unity in diversity, we will have all languages. Now, what do I do? And how did I manage it? I have to teach them to think in English because that's what the parents wanted. That was the mission and vision of the school. Yes, I agree we require English for the world, but we also require English in India because if I go from Maharashtra to Karnataka, my Marathi will not work. I have to speak in English. Even Hindi may not work. If I go to Chennai and from Chennai I decide to go to West Bengal, do I learn Bengali and I learn Malayalam and Tamil? I can't. So I have to have a common language. Hindi I may. Then the best part was, okay, chalo, let's do English. And that's it. At least I can make myself understood. That is how English evolved, revolved, rotated, got filtered, decanted, distilled, and what we have got is now English that we Indians speak, and that is called Indian English, or rather Indianized, indigenous English. Grammar, Queen's grammar. Semantics, Queen's semantics. Syntax, as per the English, Colin, Oxford, Cambridge. But phonetics, according to the Indian context. So now we are a combination. So we have everything which our children do. I've tried several experiments which I want to share with you. I won't take very long, but I want to share. I give them a very simple sentence. मुझे भेलपुरी अच्छा लगता है. मुझे भेलपुरी अच्छा लगता है. Children, remember Dr. Koshi had spoken about translation. Children, immediately, I Bhelpuri like very much. It's been done beautifully that way, but that is not it because we use subject, verb, object, and in the other languages, we go the other way, subject, object, and verb. Now, this we cannot explain in the school. Marathi teacher comes. Secondly, you have to remember one thing. In India, most of the time in the north part and central part, we have a 3-language formula. So we do English, Marathi, Hindi. Down, we do English, Hindi. Up, we do only English and something else. So with this trial formula that we are using, there is more influence of native language. I am not even going outside India. I'm only talking within India itself. And the variety will depend upon our pronunciation, our tongue movement. If I have to go to class and say, how many pounds do you have? They won't know what pounds mean because they do not know the currency of that. And how many sons do you have? They don't know. They will tell me whether I have common sense or I don't have any sense. But they do not know the meaning of sense. But when I tell them rupees and paise, yes, they understand it. So I have to use it that way. And that is how in India, we've got a lot of words which have come into English language. In fact, the dictionary also has been updated with a lot of words that come. When we say, wow, are we talking on women on wheels? Or are we talking on wow with an interjection? Parts of speech, yes. Noun, pronoun, we have a problem. Because again, tu, tum, aap is a problem. And then they say, teacher, tu, tum, aap, he for you, for everybody. Jo bhi aayega usko you bolne ka. I said, you, kutte ko bolte. It's not you, it is you. And what do we do with you? When you are talking to a person in front, you say you with a softer voice. When I'm talking to everybody, you say you. Then I'm stressing it. So I have to go with the stress of it. That is how it comes. And then the verb comes. Grammar rules, we don't follow deductive, we follow inductive method. We give them the sentences and ask them to derive the rules because that's where they learn critical thinking of a language. And that is how it gets fixed into their language. Because if I have to follow the English grammar rules, my children would never learn English. They'll say, forget it, we can manage it. But when I have to bring them to that level, we give them, we teach them, and then let them derive the rules. And they say, I'll give you a very simple example. In maths, you never say answer, you say solution. Why? Because maths has got problems. So problem and solution. So I will not say answer, I will say solution set or solution. Geography, I will use geographical terms. Science, I'm using scientific terms. But when I do the experiment, I have to talk of hypothesis and I have to go to observation and then I'll come to a principle. Because principle spellings are different. And we do have this problem over here, which I have been able to solve only because I talk to them, they look at me, and that is how we are able to work it. And then we write on the board, and on the board, to be very honest, all these years I have never written on the board much. I tell my children, listen, do lip reading, write, so that they learn the LSRW, which is what is required in English, and they're able to do it, and they follow. Because they watch English movies and they come back and say, we understood nothing. They watch cartoons and they understand nothing. They go and watch something else, they understand nothing. I've asked them to read, but I introduced what you call a reading period. Once a week was a reading period. Why reading period? I will read, you will read with me. Choral reading. And in that I realized that they picked up words. No explanation given. Look at the dictionary, find out the word, and that's where I taught them what phonemes mean and what phonetic means for pronunciation. And then drawing. The children who are good in drawing, come and draw the picture. So the visual went through. If you can manage that, yes. Very rarely that I could mime it so that they learn. Yes, very rarely I would use an Indian word. Not only that, one step further to get and control my native influences, I took a chance of having adult learning because today our problems have been parents send their children to English medium schools, but parents do not know English. So at home, teacher ne what taught you? Now my question is, teacher ne what taught you? I mean, my child to the next day comes to class and say, teacher, what you taught me or what taught me? Mummy pooch rahi hai. Now to avoid that, we started simple adult discipline. I started with a very simple exercise. I just taught them to read the school diary. School diary, what is there in English, highlighted everything in you have to know. And I gave them 25 sentences. When they come for open day, they can talk to the teacher. So parents got confidence. At least they won't speak patua, broken English, broken Hindi, they won't, they will speak English, what is required. Or you speak in Hindi at home, I have no problem. Speak in Marathi at home, no problem. Speak in Urdu at home, I have no problem. But do not get the child confused because already I've got just two parts for the brain, left brain and right brain. And my child is learning 3 languages over there with math, science, history, geography. Drawing teacher talks in another language. PT teacher says, Vishram. Are Vishram kya hota hai bhai? He doesn't say attention. He says Vishram. And the children come and say, teacher, Vishram, Vishram, Vishram. I said attention. You see, PT teacher ne Vishram bola. I can't tell the child. My native influence is here. Forget that, it's here. So we have to train our teachers also for it. Even in music when we have, I always tell them, for a minute, close your eyes. All of you are going to get a guitar in hand. Imagine, you're all learning a guitar. Huh? Yeah. And I'm going to remove all the strings of the guitar. Now play the music. They say, teacher, how can we play? I don't know. This is what language is. everything together, well put in is what guitar is. And that is how we get orchestra. Our anchoring is media based. I'll give you a simple example which most of you know. Hello guys. One day I asked them, I said, गाय को बुला रहे हो या किसको बुला रहे हो? Because guys, गाय को बुला रहे हो तो उसको भी ऐसा डाल दिया. गाय गाय होती है ना तो गाय को गाय. No, guys, we heard it. They are talking in colloquial. Guys, and then the gals, which is not English either. This is not even a native influence. It is what I call either media influence. So native influence has gone to media influence. So my reading goes with that. Writing, I give them one period we have got of 10 minutes of writing. They have to write, but I have to read. I will read and you will listen and write. No looking and writing. Train your ears and you will do it. And they do it. Because that is how dictation goes on. That is how run-on dictation is. Our assemblies have been with a joke in the morning. The most difficult thing in English is to understand a joke. And I'm sure all English teachers will understand. We can read a novel. We can find out. But a joke, because there are so many nuances, so many shades to that word. My voice has to modulate for that. And then my children understand. So a morning assembly will have a joke and a thought for the day. Two diverse things. Thought for the day, the moment assembly gets over, it has to go up on the board. Then the English teachers will discuss in the class what it means. No other language. But the joke for the day, the punchline has to come in. And therefore, I have to teach them how. And this is exactly what I've done over the years. I've only shared with you my experiences. However, and today I'm very, very happy. I never regretted it one day for all the experiments that I tried, because my children speak the best English, better than their mother tongue also. And they speak English with English, Hindi with Hindi, Marathi with Marathi, no mixture. So no bhel puri, it is a straight recipe, whatever you're doing, that's the thing that some of them are writing novels today. There'll be one who is going to Korea to be able to represent for Indian English literature. He's from media, but words are crisp and precise. This is how we experimented. Of course, these experiments came entirely on my own. I followed the books. I had the liberty to follow whichever book I wanted, because in poetry, there was poetic license. And that is where the problems came up. Imagine teaching my children Daffodils poem by William Wordsworth. They have never seen daffodils in their life in India. Come on. I had to draw on the board, and we are still with William Wordsworth trying to teach daffodils over there. 10,000 times I saw they understood. Teacher 10,000, but what are daffodils? I can't tell them chrysanthemum looks like a daffodil. So I can draw. But then after that, this is where our problems came up. So this is not a native. It is also the influence of the non-Indian into Indian. When they saw the picture, when we drew it on the board, they learned the shades of the colors. That's how they learned what burnt sienna color means, what brown color means. They also learned what maroon means and what dark red means. And they learned what combinations of opaque colors are and what pen. I use a simple box, color box. Pick out colors. Pick out colors from there and tell me what it means. And then understand what it means. So from here to here, because I believe in sensory education, I believe in using all my senses. My simple learning outcome is, if my children are with me, they will learn what has to be learned. The interference will be there, retroactive inhibition will be there, transference of emotion, all psychological parameters will be there, because I know they have a maid at home. I know the mother is, go means go. The mother tells them, go means go. What does it mean go means go? They come to the school class and they say, teacher, go means go. Go means doesn't mean go. Tell me like this, go, because they've heard it at home. There is good English, there is bad English, there is foul English. There is language of words which should not be used in English. There is taboo English. And all this because our children are exposed to the media much more than anybody else. And all this to control, I had to take the class through a different roller coaster ride. Succeeded, children learn, they know how to bifurcate it. That's all that I wanted. And when the bifurcation came in, that is where they learned what English means. This is what I wanted to share with you. Thank you very much for this platform. That was really nice talking to you. And thank you very much for helping me to share my experiences with English. Thank you very much.
I'm sorry, I have to clap loud for you. You know. I can't help it. I'm sorry.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Shaluja madam, first of all, I want to tell you, Shashtang Dandavat Pranam to you, ma'am. I am truly speaking my heart out in sharing that, I want to become your student and study English all over again. And that is what I want to, express from my heart. It was, I can well imagine when you were in the classroom and what your students got. It has been their blessing to get you as a teacher, ma'am. So it
No
was
discipline problems in the class. No discipline problems ever in the class.
absolutely, ma'am, because it is a teacher's body language, it is the teacher's way of expression that discipline is instilled in the students. It is not, if you scold the students, they are not disciplined. It is how you teach, how interesting you make the class, discipline automatically follows. So I can well imagine, ma'am.
Even my MBA students, when they say, "Are yaar," yeah, I said, from where did these words come? It's not in the dictionary. Are yaar, yeah. I said, yeah, at least I'll say this way. This is yeah. Yeah is not like this. Yeah is this way. But there is no are yaar. I mean, use it with your expression, no? If you are an MBA, then use it that way. But when you say are yaar, I don't know whether I'm dying. It's interjection. What is it like? So please be careful with your expression and mood. Thank you.
Yes, yeah.
Very true, ma'am.
Wow. That was
And you,
Wow,
the way
you said very rightly about the Shailaja ma'am, as I am her student since 1999 when I attended her training program as a trainee, and she was a resource person for standard 5th. So from that day onwards, I'm a great fan of Shailaja ma'am. She is my role model, and whatever I am today because of her and her inspiration. So it's ma'am, still you are rocking. It's a great pleasure for me to listen to you here on the virtual platform. And Rachna, thank you very much for giving us the great opportunity.
Yeah, very true. I too want to share. Shaluja ma'am was my resource person when I was teaching in NM College, Vilepale. So she too came there, and it was really an expression and the moment of learning. It was so much of learning. Thank you so much, ma'am, for giving us that inspiration. And today, another side, we are just learning the humorous approach to the language too. And it's so rightly said. I am truly in awe and gratitude I just can't express, that having teachers like this, from a teacher to a teacher, I just bow down to you with all your knowledge and respect, due respect to you, ma'am. So over to you, Mahua,
Ma'am
ma'am.
has given ample example of Bombaya English also, because we call it Bombaya English, and it's rightly said this is the real scenario in our school. Whatever may be the college school, but when the child comes to us with such a great accent and different varieties of mother tongue, so we are facing the same problem. But ma'am, there is a real proud factor that we Indians give a real and clear speaking English population to the world. So it's a hats off to all teachers, that Indian teachers are making a great effort to produce a well-versed English person, and we are giving to the world. Yes, this is a proud fact about India. Thank you.
yes,
That was
Swati ma'am,
fantastic.
you're so correct in whatever you said. And honestly, again, I'm speaking my heart out that I'm jealous of you and Rachna ma'am that you had Shailaja ma'am as your teacher. So, it is very true. How teachers make a difference in your life. So I think if I had Shailaja ma'am as my English teacher, instead of studying science, I would definitely study English. Honestly, ma'am, this is what I want to share. Like, I have no
Thank you so
words.
much. Thank you.
That day I heard you as a mentor, and I was gaining so much of experience because I have been anchoring so many stage shows. But then your the way, that passion and what you speak from your heart gets revealed, ma'am. So it's truly, ma'am, been a blessing to hear from you, ma'am. Especially when you said that children use facial expression along with different languages, so that is a maximum native influence, and you use the term indigenous English by India. So it is very true that critical thinking for students is of utmost priority, using all psychological parameters, phonetics, miming, adult learning, especially when you told that parents, to gain confidence of parents, you have uh, explained the school diary to them. As the principal of the school, it's a great takeaway for me, which I will definitely, because it is very important, and especially with children, and especially when we saw the movie English Winglish, where the children at times they do not, once they learn English, they think they are smarter, especially with the mother at home. So that should not be the right attitude. So much we gain from you, ma'am. And honestly, I have tears in my eyes when you took me back to my school, explaining about the thought for the day, then the assembly, because during the pandemic, we are at home now. Children are not coming to school, even though we teachers and management, we are going to school sometimes during the month, but we are not able to see the students, and that is the biggest pain. So, you took back to the assembly and the thought for the day. So it is, and also to my school days when you said Daffodils by William Wordsworth. So, and especially the colors and everything, ma'am, I can go on, but I have to stop. Thank you so much, ma'am, once again. Thank you so much, all the speakers. It has really been great, all the 4 days. And I really want today's takeaways by Dr. Jewel and Dr. Debbie Madam, Ina Madam. It was wonderful and wonderful. So I would actually I would request Rachna ma'am to take over now. I've become a little emotional.
Yes, yes, very true, very true. We too went back to those school days. Right now in Mumbai, it's opening, so we are meeting our students. But as Shaluja ma'am told us that about that assembly thing, it really took us back to those time that in the assembly, what is happening, what is the real assembly back, and the thought for the day, that is really a real thought. We need to give it a big thought. What is that thought for the day? So it's very true. Each and everything, the how ma'am had taught the sentences, at least in the open house, when they come to interact, at least those sentences, they are confident to speak with the teacher. So it's very, I just remember one of my student giving me love note instead of leave note. So I was so horrified by the thing, what happened. The father of the child coming and giving me a leave note, and there was a mistake and it became love note. So I was just looking at the father that why am I been given the love note by him? So
See, the child loved you. That's why.
so I was just getting connected with Shaluja ma'am so much that is what. And every time we are English teachers, we have to be so careful in each and every minute details, whatever we are teaching our students. It was really nice, so much. Really, as Mahua ma'am said, we are getting just blown away with today's. Yes, Shaluja ma'am. Yes, yes.
If I am happy to connect with all of you anytime that you need for anything, or rather you want an entertainment session in your school for your parents,
Absolutely.
please text me. I'll be the best person to come and entertain them for a change. And then you will have a peaceful life after that. Debbie Enoe, I'll be happy to connect with you also. And all my details are there with Rachana ma'am, so probably she will share all the details. Thank you
Yes,
so much.
please. Yes, please. I would love to connect with you for my platform. Brilliant.
Sure.
Yes, yes. Debbie ma'am was there. I know Debbie ma'am for quite some time now. She is a psychologist as well as a teacher, and her motives and her thoughts was really very expressive. And today too, she took us to that level that English, that we should prioritize the importance of the language which a child speaks in, instead of making him force a language which the child does not know the head or tail of it, what he has been told to learn. The parents, without making him understand, without taking to a proper educator, they directly put him to an English medium school without knowing, as Shaluja ma'am gave a lot of examples about it, what happens after going home and again coming back. So these two things which we can interact. And of
In
course,
fact, I will share one thing, something very small.
yes,
In Hindi, we say do or do char. Marathi, they say dona or don char. So in English, because the parents take up the tables at home, they say 2 on 2 is 4. 2 on 2 is not 4. No, 2 multiplied by 2 is 4. 2 twos are 4. But 2 on 2, and the child says, no teacher, 2 on 2. Do par do. Do kisko par do. They are going that way. I can't blame the child for it at all.
so true, so true. Yeah, I am just remembering all my lectures in the colleges and school, wherever I took. And really, there were so many funny moments. And ma'am took us just way back behind every single incidents, remembering those moments with the students and how language was imparted to them. And whatever we try to say to them, they just take it in the opposite way. So that was really nice, wonderful takeaway. Without getting flown away into this, we can keep on saying, of course, we all are teachers, we are educators, and educators can take it to that level. If we get a chance, we can keep on speaking. Dr. Koshi is also there. He is also English teacher and is having a lot of experience in English. So we know that how the dialects and how humorously the English has been used in this. And we as educators really need to take a call right now, what really has to be done without making English more funnier as it can become. So without delving in more into that, I would move towards the second part of the event. That is a small felicitation from our side. Until then, I'll just present a small. So we had a lot of, our speakers. I hope all our audience were watching, and we would request all our audience, please do put comments. Any of the educators you would love to talk with them personally, please put comments. They will surely reach out to you, because their papers and the way they had spoken on each and every subtopics which was taken each day was really wonderful. Do put it in the comment section so that they can reach out to you with their own explanation, whatever they have, and it will be really wonderful, and an interactive session, which I really wanted. So before we move to and a felicitation is a must, because with this wonderful speakers and moderators, and if there is no felicitation, then the Global Educators Conference cannot end without that. So a small presentation. So thank you so much to all the speakers and the moderators. It was really a wonderful journey, which will really be with me for lifetime, as well as those who have heard and listened with us. It was really a wonderful takeaway with so many knowledgeable persons all congregated together. Only one mission, that English can be more depicting and English can be more descriptive. And with a teacher like all who are present right now with us, it can surely make a difference. So it's high time that you select a real good teacher for yourself to make your language more convincing. So that is my request to all the parents and the students who are listening to us today. You might have heard so many great speakers here. Do select your teacher with whom you can interact, with whom you can really get connected, and they will be the one who can move you ahead in the cycle of life. So on that note, I would love to again hand over, first of all, without thanking today's host and our moderator, Mrs. Mahua, ma'am. She is the principal of Brenek Heritage School, West Bengal. So thank you, Mahua, ma'am, and currently residing in Kolkata, India. Grown up in Jamshedpur, is a passionate educationist, motivational speaker, and a social activist. Having completed graduation and post-graduation in zoology, especially in endocrinology, but these are terms which I really I had great respect and awe for all the science terms. So thank you, ma'am, for joining us. She was awarded the Sarvapalli Radhakrishnan Award and Dr. Abdul Kalam, APJ Abdul Kalam Award for Educators Award. So congratulations, ma'am, and thank you so much for making this session more interesting and more pleasant. Today was the last day, and having a host like you with us on the last day to make the radar moving ahead and with a lot of expectation for our viewers who are watching us. So there is yet more to come. Be glued to our platform. Don't go away anywhere. So we will have an individual presentation, and I would love to listen from the speakers to those who have joined us today for the felicitation, that how did they feel about the event after getting the certificate. So Mahua ma'am, can you take the name and I will present the certificates.
Thank you so much, Rachna ma'am, for to be a part of Global Educators Conference. There's so much to learn, and I have really fallen yet again with English because this has been one of my favorite subjects. So yes, the great speakers. It was a blessing to hear all of you, and the most important is the felicitation. So we go back to day one, and we had a great educator, Dr. Ampat Koshi, as the moderator. So congratulations to you, sir. You've made the session really, really interesting. Next.
Yeah.
Next
Mahua ma'am, I wanted to add, Dr. Koshi had 2 certificates because he was a moderator as well
as a speaker. Right.
So Dr. Koshi, would you love to share something about the event, not about the certificates, that you deserve it?
There was so much to learn from you, sir.
Yeah, I would like to share something. The first thing is I want to thank Rachna for calling me. I was very surprised, but I was also very pleased to be the moderator and also present a paper on semantics. And I come from a background of 26 years of teaching, like Shaluja ma'am, and I can also claim literally to have taught right from, both in class and outside class, from kindergarten right up to guiding people for research. And so I am so fired up by educationists and the passion for teaching And, I'm so happy I came today because I could listen to Shailaja and Ina and Debbie and Joel and also all of you. And even on the day on which I was moderating, and I caught 3 days. Only one day I missed because I was preparing my paper. So I could not attend that day. It was a wonderful conference. I got something from every speaker, even Lilibeth. I can't see her, but her PowerPoint and her talk was very useful. Yeah, now I can see her, because she was speaking about sign language and teaching, people who have hearing difficulty. And, there were so many wonderful takeaways. Mahua was, when Mahua was being introduced, they said she's a social activist beside being a principal. And a lot of that, when Tanya was speaking, and yesterday when someone was speaking about dealing with tribal education, there were so many things that interested me. And especially today's talk, all the talks, Joel's and Debbie's and Shailaja's, they really fired me up. And they have made me very happy to meet all of you, to know that education is still something that a lot of people value, and there are still a lot of teachers who are idealistic, and we are ready to keep improving so that our students can get the best from us and achieve much more than us. So thank you for this wonderful conference, Rachna, and all the drivers and all the participants and moderators and those who presented papers. Thanks a lot.
We are truly honored that we had such lovely presentation and moderation from you, Koshi sir, and we hope to hear from you again. My request to Rachna ma'am to hold such kind of conferences again and again so that we keep enriching ourselves. So now we have the next.
Yeah. Just 1 minute. I mean, there's some people whose names I didn't mention. Don't think that you're Swati and Noor. I saw Noor somewhere. Don't think that I didn't appreciate or value what you were doing. I really valued every bit of everything that was done by everyone. If I missed anyone out, please forgive me.
Thank you, sir. And then we move on to the next great educator, Dr. Tanya Simmons from USA.
I think she is not there, Mahua ma'am. But anyway, she was there as a speaker. She couldn't join today.
Okay, we had great takeaways from her also. Thank you, ma'am. And then we have a great speaker, Dr. Swati Khare from India. Ma'am, it was lovely to hear from you today, the day you spoke. So, and it was so nice when you gave the example of English in your speech, ma'am. And you stressed on pronunciation and influence of mother tongue. Ma'am, please share your views about today's felicitation.
Thank you very much. First, I would like to thank Rachna. She has given me a great opportunity to participate in this conference. And really, it's a 4-day. Actually, I made it attempt to show my presence for all the 4 days. And somewhere in a connecting difficulty, somewhere I was disappearing. Again, I was coming back. And today also, it was not possible for me to join because of some connection issues in my laptop. But today, I joined it. Thing is that the 4th day was a total feast for me. It's an English language feast. All the types of varieties of menus were presented, and I really enjoyed this conference. Just in conclusion to today's session, I would like to tell, see, when we insist our students, to bring the letter mostly in the English medium school, we insist them you bring the letter from your parent for any inconvenience which is caused to you in English. But we should not do that. Okay, we must respect our own official Indian languages too, because in my school I follow the suit, like I'm telling my parents, okay, see, whatever the language you are writing, please write your letter in that language. You know, whether it's the Tamil, it's whatever language you know, you write and you send it to me. Because see what happened when we insist the student to write, to bring the letter in English, they write, they themselves write, okay, now, like what we say, they use some words, you know, like I like to meet you, okay, instead of the parents wants to say, the child is saying something, and they are signing and they are taking the sign from their parents. So as we are making the students, we are giving them the wrong path, okay, to cheat the teachers. So better you tell in your open house that whatever the language you are comfortable, send your letter in that language, so we can restrict our student to make a forgery with the teachers. Okay, so please follow the same suit. And all the speakers of this 4 days conference was vibrant. I won't take all the names because all were great, and all are really deserves a real appreciation. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Swati ma'am, because you are very correct in telling the principals should accept letters from parents in their mother tongue, because we do not expect parents to know English, and it is very motivating that they are sending their children being first. There are so many students in my school who are the first generation learners, so we can't expect the parents to know English. And especially I have made it compulsory for parents to write in their mother tongue, because you know, the what you said, they write at times incorrect English, especially the spelling of principal. They write Principle, so to the principal. So very true, ma'am, and that was great to hear from you. Thank you so much, and hoping to hear from you in the near future also, ma'am.
Ma'am, I would love to ask from you suggestion, because here we have certain parents who are not educated at all. So in that condition, what should a child do? Both father and mother are not educated. They are only businessmen. They just have a shop and they are working there. So both, not even Hindi, not even Marathi, they can just speak. So they have never gone to any school, so they don't know to write. So that is also a big problem. So what would you suggest to such parents? Please do advise, Swati ma'am.
See, most if, as we achieved, you know, 90 or 80% literacy in India, nowadays I don't think so any scenario is there. Any parent, okay, either one parent is quite literate, they can read and write. Okay, that is the present scenario in India, because my grandmother, she was not able to write anything, but my mother, she used to write in a broken Marathi. So the parents, now the parents are literate, so they might write in any language, you know, Gujarati, Marathi, whatever the languages they know. So this is only the suggestion. Otherwise, they can send you the voice message to the WhatsApp.
Yes, yes. Voice message. Yeah, yeah.
Yes,
Good,
ma'am.
good.
Ma'am, I have some parents from, they're the children are as the first generation learners, as Shaluja ma'am said, facial expression, or they come with a relative who has some knowledge, some education. So they bring them, and for writing applications which are official letters, we ask the teachers to write on their behalf. They with the language they know, they are able to write the application along with the teacher's help. The teachers write it for them, ma'am. That is how it is done, ma'am.
Yeah,
Okay.
good idea. Good idea.
Thank you, ma'am. And then we have yet again a great scholar, Dr. Ruben Garcia from Australia. Thank you so much, sir, for sharing your views, your knowledge. We have really become enriched, and especially when you use the how the voice comes out from the mouth to the with the help of air, and that alveolar, pharyngeal, glottal, these terms you used to represent sounds. So they were really great takeaways. So now we want to hear from you. What was your, please share your experience on this global platform uh, about this felicitation, sir.
I don't think Mahua ma'am, Professor Ruben had joined us today. We are missing him. Sir, are you there? I can't see though. But there are some who has not put the camera on, so can't understand.
Okay, ma'am.
So we can move to the next one.
Has Madam Nada Ratrovic joined from Romania?
No,
No.
Nada ma'am has also not joined.
So we are missing on their felicitation. They were really great in their sharing their knowledge and enriching us. But then we go to day 2. Day 2 was the special moderator who's been a speaker, and once again, Madam Shaluja Mulay, Madam from India. Ma'am, you can again share. We are ready to listen to you overnight. So please share. Please enlighten us even further.
First and foremost, I'd like to thank Rachana for this wonderful grand dinner felicitation that was there. 4 days we have enjoyed dinner. Beautiful dinner with a good dessert at the end. And now we have come to the last part of the dinner on the 4th day, and that too over a weekend. 2, it was really nice because it set us thinking on the native influences. We know the problems, but we never thought about it. We are aware of it. None of us spoke anything that nobody else does not know. All of us knew everything. What we did was we just fine-tuned it. So all of us, and what I appreciated most was each speaker was an individual identity. No points overlapped. Each one, we had not met each other. And yet there was so much of separation identification that what he spoke is not what I spoke. This was fantastic. And that is what you say the power of English. The language itself knows what you can reach. The third thing I want to put across is the entire way, the flow of the event and the way the seminar, the conference continued was something that one could just sit down and listen. Though it was up to 9 o'clock, sometimes we went beyond that. None of us even batted an eyelid over it. We just continued to listen because there was so much learning. And I appreciated that all of us can still learn at this age because a teacher is a lifelong learner. Last part of that event, the question that what to do with parents do not know English. Simple solution, print the form in English and keep, put another language Hindi over there. So the parent just strikes off what he doesn't want and signs down, finish. It's as simple as all that. Let us not give them trouble of writing out. Let us not have the trouble of understanding what they have in mind. And yet we have something which is formulated properly to remain into our files also. That is as simple to do that. Because this has been tried and tested. So we have small ones and we know for what we want. They just cancel what they don't want and they sign. That's it. Thank you so much. Rachana, thank you so much, Mahua. And thank you
Our
to all the
pleasure.
speakers. It was nice interacting. Everybody has contributed to the learning effect.
True, ma'am. So thank you so much once again, ma'am. And we go to our next speaker, the great educationist, Madam Haradin Dania Monica from Romania. Is Madam here? Rachna, ma'am?
No, she is also not there.
Not there.
Okay. Raina Lampao, ma'am, from Greece.
No, she's also not there.
She is
Ma'am is also not here.
But anyway, I'm presenting the certificate. We'll receive the live video after that, so they can check out with their certificate.
Yes, sure.
Right, ma'am. They were really good in their sharing their knowledge. Now we come to the third day, and we had a very enthusiastic moderator, Mr. Noor Ahmed from Bangladesh. Brother, are you here?
Yeah, Noor is
Yes,
there. नाम
yes,
में ही
I'm
नूर
here.
है तो नूर तो जगेगा ना नाम में ही नूर है नूर
Correct.
where are you
Hello, ma'am, you are rock. You are rock. Trust me. You are just,
नूर
you have just a spirit
अरे भाई
and
नूर
your
है
voice.
चांद तो बताइए आप तो नूर है
Alhamdulillah, mashallah. This is a really great thing from you. That is, you are rock today and you are rock every day, and your words are very touching and very. You have very spirit. You know, whenever I have chance to hear from you, I found the spirit of learning, spirit of sharing, and this means a lot. So I have to give my gratitude to the Professor Rachana ma'am for your great event. Yes, with Global Educator Conference, it would be held every like 2 or 3 months. It would be great. And I have to say that yes, there is a lot of things I have to take away because I have learned so many things. Even I'm always ready with my pen and papers to learn and to take something from this event. And yes, I'm the quick learner as well as very much keen interest to learning. Whenever I get chance, I just grab this opportunity. So this event also give me the opportunity to learn. I have to give my all wishes for the upcoming event and ongoing work. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for listening me.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much, Noor.
Thank you, brother. And next, we have, I think a teacher makes a difference by having the sense of humor. A humorous teacher always makes the class extremely interesting. So we have a great educator, Mr. Rakesh Verma from Qatar. Is sir here?
so it's not there, I think.
Rakesh Verma also is not there, but certificate will present.
Congratulations to you, sir. And then we had yet another great educationist, Ambassador Dr. Lilabeth P. Gregorio from Philippines. Madam, your sign languages have been a great takeaway for each one of us. And I want my special request to you, please do revise this. I want to recapitulate this from your end while the next session when Rachna ma'am plans the next session.
Yes.
I think madam is there but Lilibeth is there
Yes, I'm here.
ma'am then thank
I'm
you
here.
so
much, ma'am.
in a sign language thank you to you
Yes,
Okay,
ma'am.
I'm so very thankful for our yes, for Dr. Rashana for this invitation and for this Global Educators Conference. Was an amazing and revitalized conference. And you are all very innovative, very talented, and of course, I have to amaze that you are all a very wonderful and perfect teachers in our learners. All right, so I can say that in this conference that according to Kromsky, a language is not just a words, it's a culture, a tradition, a unification of a community, a whole history that creates the communities that is all embodied in a language. So thank you so much for this opportunity and from the Philippines, mabuhay. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. So it was great listening and uh, listening to you and learning from you, ma'am. So we hope to learn from you in the near future also. Thank you
Yes.
so much, ma'am. Then we have another great educator and a speaker, Ms. Vimla Barbosa from Brazil. Is madam here, ma'am? Rachna ma'am, ma'am is here?
No, ma'am is not there. We'll just present the certificate.
Yes, ma'am. Congratulations to you, ma'am, once again. And then we have the felicitation from the great speaker. Today we started the day with such a wonderful speaker, Dr. Joel. Dr. Joel, you were so good in your expression of English as a subject. So, sir, what is your we want to hear from you for this felicitation, sir.
All right. So before anything else, I would like to thank Ma'am Rachel for inviting me as one of the speakers today. And I believe that learning is continuous process. You know, even though we are professionals, even though we are teachers or educators, we still need to learn. Learn from the people around us. Learn from the people who make impact in our lives. And then that learning would be able to, you know, use that to teach our children to continue learning. So it is a continuous process. Thank you so much, and God bless us all.
Fontanilla is full of fountain of learning only. That's how the Fontanilla surname remains.
True, very true,
Yeah.
Thank you.
Jessica,
Thank you so
ma'am.
much.
With great intention, I started with the male speaker today, and we had followed by 3 female speakers. And as usual, my decision to start with the male and with the female power pack. So the session was truly power packed. The way you started it, and it was carried forward with flame of fire, and the session was amazing. The way you made it go. So thank you so much, Dr. Joel. And just a small felicitation. Yeah, but before that, I think we forgot Mahua ma'am, because that is what I could see. The certificate was
came, but nothing was
Yeah,
mentioned.
yes,
Oh,
yes.
a certificate came.
So I want to take that honor and thank Mahua ma'am, the principal of the school in West Bengal, Kolkata, for sharing her precious time with us. And in spite of not being a language teacher, she was so very humble to take up and be with us. So a small felicitation for Mahua ma'am. Thank you so much. She
The
is
Doi Mishti was good.
she is always with a smile and continuously giving that positive vibration.
Yeah, I said, that's why I said the Doi Mishti was good.
Thank you so much, ma'am. I'm truly blessed and honored to be a part of this great platform. And whatever I have learned, I feel I am a much more developed individual. Thank you so much, ma'am. Rachna ma'am, thank you so much. Shaluja ma'am, thank you so much.
Thank you. All the
Dr.
best,
Joel,
ma'am.
you were so good. So we definitely started the day so well. I definitely agree with Rachna ma'am that we started the day with Dr. Joel, and he really made the day. Thank you so much for allowing me to moderate the session, ma'am.
The pleasure was all mine. I enjoyed it.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, we'll move to the next one.
Dr. Joel certificate has been given, ma'am?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay. So we have Debby ma'am. I think she has been also a great favorite of all for all of us. Debby ma'am, is ma'am here?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, I think that is missing. I need to find out.
Thank you very much for your accepting me to this conference, and you have really proved that we are from different parts of the world. We are very different, but we have the same goal. We have the same aim. We are teachers of English, and I really met a lot of people which are close to me, which have the same aim. Thank you very much for attending.
Ma'am, one small request for you. How do you pronounce your surname? Is it Ina Hrytsenko?
Hrytsenko, Ina Hrytsenko.
Ina Hrytsenko. Okay, fine. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Okay.
Ina
Ina ma'am, you were also great. Ina Hrytsenko ma'am, because that is also very important to learn the correct diction of of your surname, ma'am. So you too have been great, ma'am. So I would request Rachna ma'am to please take over. For the vote of thanks, ma'am.
Yeah, I think one certificate I missed out, but Debby ma'am is there.
Yeah,
I'll
Debby
be
ma'am
present.
is there. Certificate did
Yes,
not come
yes,
here.
yes, yes. Let's I'm just doing it within a second. Just give me a few seconds. But in the meantime, I would love to hear from Debby ma'am before I present once again my screen. So Debby ma'am, can you please tell us a little bit, because she is always an inspiration for me, the way she, relaxes, and her speeches every day, gratitude speech, which I hear her
So
live
you look,
always. Yes,
so you see me every day. I didn't realize you're on my platform every day.
yes, yes. I keep on following you all the time with your lovely takeaways is there always. So I just enjoy your takeaways always. So Debbie ma'am would love to hear a little bit from you about today's session. How did you like it? And in the meantime, I'll present the certificate also.
Okay. Thank you, Rakshan and your team, Dr. Rakshan and your team. I'm really grateful that you actually give me the opportunity to express my skills in education. I love education. And I'm passionate about it because I think, the interesting thing about it, although we on a global platform and we are from different countries, we all have one aim is to empower our students and to get the best out of our students. And that's really wonderful. I just love it. Thank you so very much. I feel so honored and blessed to actually be asked to come onto the platform. It is just so beautiful because anytime anybody's talking about education, I'm there because I think it's important that we add extra to empowering our students, because it's so important that we remind ourselves of giving them a voice, because they need a voice. And we are meant to be the supporter of our students, and we're the ones supposed to be the voice. It is so very important. And it's really interesting when I was listening to Shaluja's, her take in terms of how she was talking. It just reminded me of some of my aspect. And one of the things that was so beautiful when she's saying to them, I am not writing on the board. I don't write on the board either. I want you to listen, right? And listen to what I'm saying and remember it. And I think that is so very, very powerful. It's so beautiful. Thank you so much. I am so honored to actually be asked to come onto the platform. It's just, as educators, we need to always empower our students. And I feel the most important thing for us to do, we meant to be our students' voices, because they have no one else there to be their voice, because the parents does not know. So we have to support them and give them that little bit of self-empowerment, self-esteem, and self-worth. It is so very important that we give our students their self-worth. We need to help them to reclaim that. It is so important. Only them could we see the beauty from our students. Only them could they blossom as individual, as what is inside of them. They could only get it from us actually empowering them.
Yes,
Sorry.
ma'am, it was actually English with psychology. So it's a very powerful pack. And, psychology, since it's the study of the mind, you do it so well. And that is the reason why you connect to your students so well. Because since psychology is, you study the mind of the student and relate it to any other subject, that will really have a powerful impact on the students, and they will be understood well, and it's very important for the well-being of the students. So it was a great takeaway from you, ma'am, because you connected the students so well. It's that they will not only study English, but the mother tongue and the other languages, so that they don't lose their identity. Thank you so much, madam. We are truly honored by the way you spoke, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting me. I'm really grateful for that.
Yes, very true, Debbie ma'am. I was just seeing the conversation in the chat box. It was wonderful to get connected with you, ma'am, and to know I learned a different thing today itself. It was the word. One new word was there, which I learned today. I just want to share. And I would love if Debbie ma'am could talk on that word once again.
Patwa.
Oh, patwa.
Yes, yes.
Patwa.
Yeah, it's a combination of broken French and English. So in some of the Caribbean countries and in Grenada, we speak patois, which means that, it's the combination of both of them. And it is so very important that that is maintained in terms of for your sense of identity, because back home in the Caribbean, in Grenada, a lot of my elders actually speak that, especially if they're speaking something and they don't want you to know about it. But what I fail to realize is, as we become older, we understand what French broken French, so we're able to understand what they're talking about. And something that actually happened to me, I went to France and this woman was actually talking. She was saying that you are salope, right? She didn't realize that I knew what she meant because I spoke broken French. And what she was saying that we were nasty, you know. And it's like when I looked at her and I responded to her, she was shocked because she didn't expect me to understand what she was talking about. So because it's broken French, we're able to connect with various pieces. And it is so important as well that we encourage the children to speak in the dialect. It is so very important. We should not want them to speak, you know, I think one of the speakers was talking about, you know, the Queen language. They shouldn't. We shouldn't encourage that because that's not them. They're coming from, you know, their aspect, their country, where they have a combination. We need to encourage them to speak their dialect and to speak in the, you know, however they're speaking. Like me, I've got a very strong Caribbean accent. I've been here 40 years, yet still my accent is very strong. And that is part and parcel of that makes us unique. And we need to encourage our students, whatever area they're speaking, we need to encourage that.
Great, great. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. It was wonderful to listen once again. We were discussing once the presentation was over. But anyway, I would love to just give this token of appreciation for Debby ma'am. I hope I can share it properly in time.
Thank you very much.
1 minute.
Truly honored and grateful.
Thank you so much, Debby ma'am, for giving your valuable time. I know there are different time zones, but still you managed it, and with your students and school, and still you managed to join us.
Thank you very much.
With due respect for you.
Thank you so much, Debbie ma'am, once again. And I would request Rachna ma'am to deliver the vote of thanks for the entire event.
Thank you so much, Mahua ma'am. First of all, to all the speakers of today, thank you so much for motivating us in today's session. It was really, really a lovely and enriching session. And of course, not to forget, from day one, we started. Moderator Dr. Koshi was there, and it went on. The flow just started. When a moderator starts, we call the moderator Sutradhar in our Indian language. So the Sutradhar is the main person who makes the program flow. So every day we had a different Sutradhar who were truly very, very inspiring, and the way they summed up everything, it was really a lot of takeaways were there, and it was really encouraging. As I was getting a lot of inboxes from students across the globe, not only teachers, but students too, that the sessions were very nice, and if they could even get the papers, the presentations. So Lilibeth ma'am's I already have, and Dr. Koshi's also I already have. So they had presented the matter. So that's the students enjoyed. Tanya, Dr. Tanya is not there. Even for her also, students were requesting. Lilibeth ma'am also, your presentation was very powerful. So the way you all spoke and explained each and every minor details. Today's, of course, I will get right now. It will be flooded with today's speakers and all the inboxes I will be getting. So it's a request to everyone. Please do put it in the comment section too, instead of inboxing me, so that the educators too themselves can see it. So it's like, you know, a motivation for the educators, because they are giving their time and speaking about something which will really be motivating for everyone. So if you could put it in the comment section and tag them, then they would get back to you personally and individually. Do tag the speakers. They are there in all the social medias. We are putting it in the YouTube also every day in our Creative Writing Modern Age, as well as in the Facebook Live we are going. So in both the places, request to all the students and educators too. There were many educators who were inboxing. Sometimes I see the messages very late. So if you just tag our educators, for example, you want to know from Debbie something, so you can just tag her, and then Debbie will get back to you. If you want to know from Dr. Swati something, she had spoken about many important things. So just tag her in the post, then she will get back to you. So if you do the tagging, it becomes very easy. Dr. Koshi, you want to know something. Likewise, Even from the moderators, you want little guidance, how to moderate the next event. We had brilliant moderators, and Rania Lampu was also there. Dr. Joel is there. So anyone, just tag them and they will get back to you. So this is what I wanted to share, and thank you, thank you, thank you. I just want to just finish it with gratitude and thanks. I know all the educators are very busy these days, exam times going on, paper correction, paper setting with the students, but still making it a point. Some of them are principal too, and they are also there with us. So it's Veena ma'am is there, our storyteller mentor from Creative Writing Modern Age. From day one, she has been with us. So thank you, Veena ma'am, from the bottom of my heart. It was really a pleasure to have you always on the day. And every day after the end of the session, your message coming in with gratitude that it was lovely to meet all the speakers. It was so amazing. And I know that even you two are very busy with all your write-ups and all the writing things which you keep on doing, and your YouTube channel too with storytellers, and busy with all the other schedules. But thank you for being with us till the end, all the session. I am really going to miss all this. It was really from 7 to 9 was really packed, power packed session, all educational session with all the educators, and lot of learning. Main important is learning. I was learning in the long run, making notes, and sometimes I even asked also very profoundly what to do in this case, in that case. Yes, Noor Ahmed. Yeah, you are showing that. Yes, we do that. Lot of learnings are there, really lot of learnings. Thank you so much, all the speakers and all the educators, for sparing your lovely time in this wonderful platform of Creative Writing Modern Age. We have, do be connected with us, do share with us what are the next interesting things which we can come up with. Surely we'll plan it out. Reach out to us, Creative Writing Modern Age. You can mail to us also. And Ina was there from Ukraine. The last day I could see you, the last previous 2 days. I remember first day when she joined, she was about to join. She was a little bit dicey that whether I am the real person here or not. But then Ina, you just made it, bang on and rock on, I can say, to the point with all the topics which you spoke today, with the profound sentences which you gave, examples about the grammar which you spoke about. It was really lovely listening to you, all the way from Ukraine, Philippines. I should not forget any country's name, USA. So thank you so much. So many people joining us, Croatia, London, and did I forget anything? Brazil, yes, and I think I need to test my knowledge now. It's like a test on my knowledge. And Bangladesh, yes, Bangladesh, one by one, memory test, which we do with the children. It's like my memory test coming in. So India, of course, my favorite, I and with all the other moderators. And Philippines, of course, I didn't forget. Philippines is also there. Thank you so much from all the different parts of the globe. We had a lot of congregation of thoughts, and finally, Shaluja ma'am did the, icing, which we can say on the platter. The platter was already served by all the educators, and the icing was done. Swati ma'am's takeaway was there, of course. I know both of them are my educators too. So I have learned a lot from both of them. She being my chief moderator, Swati ma'am, and Shaluja ma'am was a resource person when I was teaching in college, in NM college. So a lot of takeaways was there. What I felt that Shaluja ma'am said, right, we can teach daffodils for about Wordsworth. I wandered lonely as a cloud that floats on high over the vales and hills, when all at once I saw a crowd, a host of golden daffodils. So what will the students understand? Shaluja ma'am rightly said, what are daffodils? So I remember training one of my students to recite a poem, Daffodils, putting a picture of daffodil, taking out a printout, and the small child saying the poem, reciting the poem, Daffodils by William Wordsworth. So many takeaways, so many things across was coming up. So thank you. And Debbie, I know she keeps on talking with the students, with their mental health and their setup, how we can approach the teacher in a way It is not necessary that language should debar you from approaching. Language should be your guide, should be your beneficiary rather to approach. And Dr. Koshi's Malayali influence was nice. I've written down all the Malayali words, Dr. Koshi. So whenever I come to there, I will be speaking all those words. I just know few words. I love to learn language. Ningalunde Perandana and in Pere Rachna. So I love to learn languages. So, and the influence which you talked about, Dr. Koshi, was also amazing. We see all this in the writings of the students every day. They just translate. They think in Marathi and they translate in English. They think in Hindi and they translate in English. So there is no grammar, nothing. Only sentences are put in the platter for us. As Swati ma'am tells me, tells all of us who are there with her, that Rachna, give them marks. We just need them to go ahead. So whatever they are writing in the platter for us, forget about it. They are not that post grads in English. So they are just small children, 9th and 10th standard appearing essays. I just remember when Swati ma'am always takes our meeting, she was my chief moderator because I was the moderator for the last 6 years and she was my chief moderator too. So when she takes a meeting for the moderators, that to not to be very strict of cutting down the marks, because we know that what we are getting in the platter. So a lot of learning, and I was just recalling all this, having all of you with us. It was really nice. And Mahua ma'am from a different field, science field, but still Rania ma'am, I'm missing. She is also a STEM educator, but still with languages she spoke about very profoundly. Dr. Tanya spoke very nicely about the different aspect, the vocal influence which was there from a doctor's point of view, that how do we interpret. That was also very lovely takeaway. Every day was learning. Actually, in short, if I forget any name, I'll be doing injustice to any of the educators. So I will just put it that every day was a learning for me. Every day was a service, you can say, a nice cake with a lot of icing in it. And I just grabbed it and I just kept on eating it, and a lot of knowledge and intakes and takeaways. Thank you so much. Thank you very much, all of you, for being with us. Do keep liking us and sharing your comments.
Just I would like to interrupt you. Yeah, just I would like to introduce writing, okay, what they are writing and what their platter they are presenting for us. If we will respect them, so definitely their confidence will increase. Okay, that is my main intention.
Yes, very true, very true. There is always
To respect what your students are presenting for you. Okay, so yeah, because we want to build confidence in them. They can speak
Correct.
English very well. If we'll build a confidence, definitely they will construct the sentences properly in future. So we must respect our 9th and 10th standard students, what they are presenting in English. So that is given that particular.
okay. I think there's some connectivity issue. Yeah, but I understood, ma'am, what ma'am wanted to say. Yeah, it's true. We should encourage them, as Debbie ma'am also said, that the lingual influence, which we should not debar it all the time. Don't force that English only should be English. So we should accept the feelings and try to encourage them to write more in English, so that in future, ma'am, we missed you, Swati ma'am, little bit. There were some connection issues, I think.
Exactly. I'm here now.
Yeah. Okay. So that was it. Yeah, I really know that encouragement is very important. I understood what you wanted to say in the meetings also, that yes, we should motivate them and encourage them, and not that go by, as Debbie ma'am had also added the same points today, that if we are going by the proper grammar, syntax, and phonetics of English for small children in their growing stage, they will stop learning English completely. So our motive is to encourage them, and later on, professors like Dr. Koshi is there, then Lilibet ma'am is there. They will be making it more, proper in their way when they are approaching their higher educations. But here right now, we should not tell them that English is something dreadful and be frightened, which Swati ma'am wanted to say. Thank you so much. Thank you for all of you for joining us. And we will come up with more such events. Stay connected. Do share your feelings more and more. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Bye,
Thank you,
all of
everybody.
you. Good
Good
night.
Thank you
morning.
very much.
All
Bye-bye.
over the world.
You.
Yes.
Good night. Good
Bye.
Yes,
morning.
good
Bye.
Bye bye. Have a great evening. Bye bye.
Bye.
Bye,
Bye.
everyone.
Bye.
Bye
Bye.
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 It's nice to meet you all.
Okay. Yes.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much.